Hi guys, welcome to my channel Jananeta Adda. So today we are going to discuss about the quick revision of digital electronics for the preparation of HCIL. For the preparation of HCIL 2021 for design trainee and management trainee for the branches of ECE, instrumentation, EEE branches and CSC. The digital electronics part is the common for both four branches. So we will do a quick recap of our digital electronics because we have recently studied for the GATE exam. So the main motto of this video is to give an introduction to all the topics of digital electronics which are mostly important for the preparation for cracking Hindustan Aeronautical Limited. And also in the next video we will going to discuss about the important problems which we can expect in the 2021 exam. So we will discuss in the next video. Today we will clear all the important concepts with a few examples also. Wherever the required, I will take examples. I will also discuss the examples. We will also get the concept through the problems also. So let's go through the important topics for digital electronics for the preparation of hall. So we will start what is the importance of digital electronics. We will initially start with the importance of digital electronics and we will start a number system where we will introduce a few number systems and we will also learn the conversion from one number system to another number system. We will also learn about the codes, so the different type of codes, and we will also discuss about the Boolean algebra, and the fifth one is the logic gates and simplification techniques. We will discuss about the simplification techniques also. And finally, the last video content of this video will be a discussion about the combinational circuits, where we will discuss about half adder, full adder, subtractor, encoder, decoder, multiplexer, demultiplexer, and the comparator and parity generator. All the circuits we will discuss with a quick revision. We will take a quick recap of all things. So let's start the discussion, the importance of digital electron. We know that every signal which is present in our surrounding will be analog in nature. Every signal will be in an analog in nature. But all the systems which are available for us are in a discrete system, which is digital system. So to process this analog signal, so we have to store this analog signal. We need to convert the signal into a digital domain, so where we can process the signal easily and where we can store the given signal easily. So we will see the basic block diagram of a digital system. It will be the analog input. For this analog input, we will give input for the ADC. We will give input to the ADC, where ADC converts an analog signal into a digital signal. So this ADC will be given to a computer or a processor. The processor provides an output in it. From here onwards, it is an analog. This converts to digital, where after processing this information, the processor provides a digital output. But we cannot understand that digital is nothing but a zeros or ones, the representation of a given signal, where we have given a signal which varies with respect to the time, and this amplitude of the signal varies with respect to the time. But we are getting an output of the processor in the representation of ones and zeros, where we cannot understand this signal. Further, to understand the signal effectively, we will convert this signal into original state by using DAC, digital to analog converter. So where it will convert our signal into a analog in nature. So this is a time axis, it is an amplitude axis, where we call it as a analog signal. So we are able to convert an analog signal to digital signal where the digital signal is processed and we are able to see the analog signal as it is. We are analyzed. So we analyze a signal. The processor can be a calculator, or it could be a mobile phone, or it could be a computer. So processor. What are the advantages of using a digital system? So this is an important topic for all point of view. So the noise levels will be very low. Noise levels will be very low, and storage is easy, because to store an analog signal in a memory we need a large space of memory, so that it becomes so expensive. So storage is easy in a discrete point of view. So the storage is easy, inexpensive compared to analog storage, and the power consumption will be low. Power consumption of a digital system will be very low, because where in a case of analog system the circuit works in if we take a transistor circuit mostly works in a linear region where it requires more amount of power. So but the digital system where works in a saturation region, that's why it requires less amount of power, so the power consumption will be very high, and the package density. So when we are going to manufacture in a particular product by using a discrete system, it takes very less area when compared to analog circuits, because then we can say that the package density will be high. So these are the advantages of digital system or an analog system. So because of that, we are using most of our devices, whichever we are using, the mobile phone, laptops, computers, and watches also. Everything is going into digital domain where it becomes an inexpensive device. The package density will be very high, and the performance will be most reliable also. The reliability of the system will be very high. That's why we are going to use the analog system when compared to we are going to use digital system when compared to the analog system. I will clear this board. So let's start the discussion regarding the number system. The number system is nothing but is a basic criteria to count the objects. When you want to count the object, when you want to measure something, we need some counting. So counting is a set defined. Counting is basis for measuring a quantity. When you want to measure some quantity, we need a number system, we need a set of values. Based on that, in a digital electronics also, we have 4 types of number system. So we'll discuss about first decimal number system. We are having decimal number system, and also we are having binary number system, and we'll be having octal number system. We have hexadecimal number system. So what is the difference between each number system we will start? Because most of the computers in the real world, they are using primarily these four number system. So because of that, we are going to discuss, and we can also expect many number of questions from the number system point of view, where they will ask the conversion of one number into another number system. So first, to convert any number system to one number system to another number system, but first we need to know the difference between each and every number system. So decimal number system, where we represent as each number, the decimal number having a set of values 1, 0 to 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So to differentiate that, we will represent this number system with an R, where R defines this R, we call it as a radix. We call it as a radix. So where radix, the definition of radix is very important. The radix defines number of distinctive digits used. So where radix defines the number of distinctive digits are used to represent a particular quantity. So in a decimal number system, here 10 number of distinctive digits are used from starting 0 to 9. That's why here we denote it as R equal to 10. R equal to 10 system. We'll also call it represent as. So if I want to represent, for an example, if I want to 420, 420, if I want to differentiate whether the system is a decimal system or a binary system, I have to mention after the square brackets, I have to mention this 10, which we call it as a radix or a base of the system. We can call it a radix or a base of the system, where we are saying that radix or base nothing but the number of distinctive digits are used to represent a particular number. In the case of binary, we have two distinctive digits to represent. We also call it as two different levels to represent a particular quantity in terms of digital domain, that is 0 and 1. So if I want to represent any number, any quantity, we can represent in a digital domain the base of 2. In an octal number, where octal number uses a different distinctive digits are 8. So we call it as a R equal to 8 system, where the different distinctive digits are nothing but that is 0 to 7 system. If I want to represent 546, if I want to differentiate any number with another number system, have these radix or base plays a major different role. Where hexadecimal number consisting of 16 different symbols. So where comes from the 16th digit? We know that we only having 0 to 9, where the distinctive digit numbers are nothing but only 10 distinctive digit numbers are available with us. But to represent the 16 distinctive symbols, we are taking help of alphabetical system so that we can achieve the 16 different digits to represent a particular quantity in terms of digital electronics. Let's see that we have 0 to 9, which satisfies 10 digits, but we need extra of 6 digits, where we can borrow those digits are nothing but A, B, C, D, E, F. I have to give some value for that, no? So we cannot understand what is A, what is B, what is C. So to give a quantified value to that, so they have assumed that after we know that the numbers starts from 0 to 10, 11, 12. So they are trying to assign to A equal to 10, B equal to 11, C equal to 12, D equal to 13, E equal to 14, F equal to 15. So these are the values we have used to represent 16 distinctive digits for a hexadecimal system. If I want to represent any system, if I want to FF, if I have to represent it as a 6 or some capital H, where H denotes that it is a hexadecimal number system. So in the next we are going to discuss about the conversion of one number system to another number system. How to convert a given number, a given quantity into one number system to another number system. We will try to solve a few problems for getting a better understanding of number system conversion. So I will rub the board here. Let's focus some time on conversion of one number system to another number system. So when you want to convert one number system to another number system, we need to know the face value of that system, and we need to know the positional weightage for each and every number system. When we represent any number as a 7250 in a decimal number system, this number system can be split into as 7250 plus 0, where it is a 0th position, is a 10th position, 100th position, we call it as a 1000th position, where we can also represent as a 10 to the power of 3 plus 2 into 10 to the power of 2 plus 5 into 10 to the power of 0, where we can also represent 0 power 10 to the power of 0. So we can represent this number as a. So in general, when I want to represent any number, we will be having a decimal part and will be having integer part. When I want to represent this 7250.00, so it will be having a position value of 10 to the power of 0, a 10 to the power of 1, and 10 to the power of 2, and 10 to the power of 3. When I go after the decimal part, we will be having 10 to the power of minus 1, and 10 to the power of minus 2, and 10 to the power of minus 3, and so on. And it goes on. So this is the systematic representation of a digital decimal number system. So when we want to understand the same system, where this binary number system, where we will be using only the two distinctive digits that is nothing but zeros and ones. So when I represent 1101 number, so when I want to know its decimal equivalent of the number, so how to convert this? I need to get the positional value of that number. So that's why. So this number will be having 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2, and 2 to the power of 3. So when we go after the decimal point, we will be having the negative power 2 to the power of minus 1, 2 to the power of minus 2, and 2 to the power of minus 2. So we have to multiply these positional value with this face value, so that we can achieve the number system, the equivalent number in a decimal equivalent. We will take one example and we will convert each number into another number system, and we will convert another number from another number system into original number system. So when we going to represent hexadecimal number system, we know that it will be having 8 distinctive digits from 0 to 7. So when I want to represent as a 641, so I have to multiply this number with an 8 power 0, 8 power 1, and 8 power 2. If I represent after the decimal point, I have to multiply with 8 power minus 1, 8 power minus 2, like this. So in the same scenario, if I have one hexadecimal number system having some digit of having D, A, B, C, D with a decimal point after C, so I have to multiply this with a 16 power 0 and 16 power 1 and 16 power 2. So, and here 16 power minus 1 have to multiply with positional value with this face value, so that we can get a decimal equivalent of that number. So we are going to discuss about the conversion, so decimal to binary conversion, decimal to octal conversion, decimal number system to hexadecimal number system, by taking one example for each number system, so that we will get a clear clarification from the conversion of decimal to another number systems. What are the number system available here? So if I want to convert a 42 number which is available, so to know whether the given number system is in a decimal number system or in octal number system or in hexadecimal number system, I have to verify, very sure I have to verify whether the given radix is what. So if I mention here is a 10, so this the given number system is in a decimal number system. So to convert a decimal number to the binary number system, we follows one method we will call as a double dabble method. Double dabble method. So this method is very simple to convert. So I have to convert the given number system into binary number system, where in the binary number system we'll be having two different of distinctive digits. So that because of that, how to divide the given number with a by 2. So that is nothing but 21. The remainder will be 0. So if I have to divide the number until it goes to 1. So 10 will be having a remainder of 1. So 2 5s are, the remainder is 0. 2 2s are 4, the remainder will be 1. And 2 1s are, the remainder is 0. So I know that the how to represent the number, how to consider the remainders from top to bottom. I have to consider the digits 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0. Wow. So to differentiate whether the given number system is in a binary number system or in a decimal number system, I have to give the radix. The radix plays a major important role in the digital electronics. So this is the equivalent decimal equivalent to the decimal equivalent of a binary number. The binary equivalent, we call it as a binary equivalent of a decimal number 42. So when I want to convert the same, I will take same example. So the decimal will be 42. So we know that the octal number system will be having 8 different distinctive digits. So to convert this number, how to divide this number by 8. So 8 4, we know that 8 5s are 40, will be having remainder of 2. So to represent this number, will be having 42 in terms of octal number system. So 5 2 in octal number system. So if I try to convert the same number system of 42 which is available in the decimal number system to convert into hexadecimal number system, we know that in hexadecimal system we will be having a different 16 distinctive digits to represent the hexadecimal number. So have to divide this number system by 16, where this method is called as a double dabble method. So we will 16 2s are 32, will be having the remainder of 10, but we cannot write here the remainder as a 10 because we want to use to represent a particular number. We will be using only a single digit, where the single digit will also called as a bit. We will only using a single bit to represent this. We will call it as a literal. So we know that after 0 to 9 we have added few alphabetical numbers, where A, B, C, the value of A will be 10. So we will be getting a remainder of A. So the 42 equivalent in an hexadecimal number will be 2A. So I have done some mistake here. It's nothing but I have mentioned the 2A with a radix of 10, but it is an absolute blunder mistake when we are doing a conversion to another number system. I have to mention the 16 R with a capital H to differentiate one number into another number system. We will also try to convert the given octal number into, here also I will convert given octal number to decimal number. We will also try to learn the div. So I already said that the 16, it will be a 10 plus have to multiply this number within a 16. So 2 into 16, that nothing but 32 plus 10, it is equal to 42 in the decimal number system. I just multiplied the positional value with the face value of the number, so that I got 32, and also I multiplied with a into 10, 16 to the 16 power of 0 is nothing but 1 into 10 is nothing but 10. So when I want to convert this number into, so 2 into 8 to the power of 0 plus 5 into 8 to the power of 1 is nothing but 40 plus 2, that is nothing but 42 in a decimal number system. So when I want to convert this number system, the binary number system to the decimal number system, so I have to multiply each with a positional value of 2 to the power of 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, 2 power 5. Is 2 power 5 nothing but 32, 2 power 3 8, and 2 power 1 2, nothing but 40 plus 42. So we have verified the conversion from decimal to binary, decimal to octal, decimal to hexa, and hexa to decimal, and octal to decimal, and binary to decimal. So we'll also try to convert a given binary number to hexadecimal, given binary number to octal number system, and also we'll try to convert octal number to hexadecimal, hexadecimal to octal number conversion. So I will drop the board here. Now we are going to discuss about the conversion from binary number system to octal number system and the binary to hexadecimal. Already we have seen the conversion from binary to decimal, so no need to repeat because it is a quick revision session. We will take one binary number by including the decimal part also. I will take 101101. 10101. So to convert this number into an octal number system, so I have to take some different color marker. So to convert a given number system into an octal number system where we'll be having 8 distinctive digits where it will be varies from 0 to 7. So have to consider only 3 digits. So we need to know convert this number system to octal number system. Have to know the binary representation of each and every number. So in the 0, which is in a decimal part, you have to should know the binary representation. Will try to know in a 4 bits. We will also call as a nibble. We will see in the nibble representation of 0. So 0 will be represented with all zeros, and 1 is nothing but 0 0 0 1, 2 0 0 1 0, 3 0 0 1 1, 4 0 1 0 0, 5 0 1 0 1, 6 0 6 0 1 1 0, 7 0 1 1, 8 1 0 0 0, 9 1 0 0 1. After 9 we know that A 1 0 1 0 it is a 10, B 1 0 1 1, C 1 0 0. After that we have D 1 1 0 1, E 1 1 0, and F. You have to know that 1 1 1. So this is a decimal equivalent. So the decimal it is a octal value. So we will representing these octal numbers in a binary number system. Is a decimal number system. Decimal numbers we are representing in a binary. So when I know that, so I have to convert a binary number system to the octal number system, I have to consider the 3 digits, 3 numbers to in the left side. When we are moving to after the decimal, we have to move the right side of the number. So we know that these 3 digits is nothing but 101. So 101 is nothing but it is a 5. So 5 dot 101 is a 5, and we having only 0 0. So it is nothing but 0. I have to represent this whether it is which number system it is. So this is a number system conversion from binary to octal number system. When I want to convert a binary number, let's take 1101001 dot 1001. So when I want to convert this given binary number, so I have to represent whether the given number system is a binary or not. When I want to convert this binary number system into hexadecimal number system, only one simple thing I have to consider, I have to consider four digits in the left side direction of a decimal number. After the decimal number, we have to go right side of this part. So have to consider. So when I know that it's a 1110, it is equivalent to E. So when we know that 1001, so it is 9. I have the decimal point and also 9. So this is a hexadecimal representation of a given number. So when you are going to convert a binary number system to octal number system, we have to consider the three digits or 3 bits. So when I want to convert a binary number system to hexadecimal number system, I have to consider 4 bits. So I have to move before in integer part, we have to move in the left side direction. In the decimal part, we have to move in the right side direction. Left side direction in the right side direction. This is important for the conversion from binary to octal conversion. Now we will going to discuss about the conversion from octal to hexadecimal, hexadecimal to octal conversion. Let's start discussing about conversion of octal number system to hexadecimal number system, hexadecimal number system to octal number system. Let's take one example from octal where we will be using 8 digits, different digits. So I will be using 613.23. I will take 24 to make everything is a different digits. So we have considered even when we are converting from binary number system to octal number system, we have considered only 3 bits to represent any particular number. So in the same case also, we have to make each number into a 6 number. We have to represent in a binary. We have to represent it in a 3 bits. This is nothing but 110. So 001. So 00011. So we have to give the same decimal point also. So 010 0. So 100. This is we have just decoded. So whatever we have represented by using binary to octal number system, just we have decoded whatever the values we have used for converting one number system, that is the binary number system to the octal number system, the same we have decoded into the original value. So from that we know easily that to convert any binary number to the hexadecimal number system, just have to consider I have to consider 4 digits, 4 bits. So if the 4 bits nothing but 8, 3, 11. 11 is nothing but B. So have to use B, and also having 8 and 001. The decimal point will be having 5 and 0. So this is a hexadecimal. The octal to hexadecimal number convert system. So while converting octal to hexadecimal number system, I have to decode this number into a binary number system. After the binary number system, have to use 4 number of digits. In the integer part, I have to move in the left side. After the decimal point, I have to move to the right side. This is the simplest method we can follow to convert an hexadecimal number system. So if I want to convert the same hexadecimal number, that is nothing but 18B50, which is given in a hexadecimal number. So when I have to convert into octal number system, just I have to decode this number into 4 bits. So 0001, 1000 and 11 is nothing but 1011 0101 0000. So this is the decimal binary equivalent of this hexadecimal number system. So when I want to convert this to octal, we will be using only 3 bits to convert the number. So we will be using 33. So is nothing but it is 0 6 1 3 dot 2 4 0. So this is This is a octal number system. When I want to convert hexadecimal number system to octal number system, I have to convert into the binary number system where I have to represent each digit with the 4 bits, and after convert the octal number system, I have to use only 3 bits. In the given binary number system, in the integer part I have to move in the left side by selecting the 3 digits. In the decimal part I have to move towards the right side by selecting the 3 digits, where I can decode by using 3 digits, where we know that for each digit we know the decimal equivalent of that number. So it is the simplest possible method where we can use to convert one number system to another number system. I think I have solved every number system to another number system, and also included the decimal part also, where we can use. If we will take another example where it involves only the decimal, where we get only the decimal part. In the next videos we will solve most of the important questions which we can expect from our hall exam, and also we will solve the previous year's ESC questions, because all the ESC prelims question can be solved within less than 1 minute. So in the hall also we will be having time constraint to solve each and every question. We have to solve 160 questions within the 150 minutes, so which requires less than 1 minute to solve. So we can take the reference of ESC questions to crack the hall. So we will discuss each and every questions of Indian Engineering Services question to analyze the hall paper weightage. So let's see another topic of digital electronics. We know that we can do, if we given any number system, in a decimal number system we can do addition, subtraction, multiplication and the division. So when comes to the binary number system, how will be the addition, binary addition? We will see some topic, we will discuss some amount of time for discussing about the binary addition. We know that here only it is a binary, there will be 2 distinctive digits, that is nothing but zeros and ones. So by using ones and zeros, I have to do addition, multiplication and subtraction. We will to know the addition rules and subtraction, multiplication rules to the binary addition. So we will be having, I am assuming that one digit as a, another digit as a b, and we will be having sum, and when I am doing sum, we will be getting carry. So 0 plus 0 is nothing but sum is 0 and the carry will be 0. When I am adding 0 plus 1, the sum will be 1, the carry will be 0. So when I am adding 0 1 plus 1, the sum will be 1, the carry will be 0. When I am adding 1 plus 1, which is 1 plus 1 is how much? We are 2, right? But it's wrong, because we are dealing with a binary digit system where we will be having 2 digits. The maximum value of this will be r minus 1, that is 2 minus 1 will be equal to the 1. The maximum value which we can get from a binary number system is nothing but only 1. So we cannot get the 2. So there will be 0, the carry will be 1. What is the maximum? The value which we can represent in a digital decimal number system is nothing but. So to represent 540, will be having a radix of 10, where we call it as a r. So we will in any number system to get the maximum value. So we have to know this r minus 1, that is 10 minus 1, 9. In case of hexadecimal system, we will be having r equal to 16. The maximum value we can get, maximum value in case of hexadecimal is nothing but 16 minus 1, that is 15, is nothing but f. F is a maximum value which can represent in the hexadecimal number system. So this is all about addition. So let's discuss about the subtraction also here. Which subtraction it is? The binary subtraction. A minus B will be having, we will call it as a difference, and we will be taking some borrow. So 0 minus is 0, the borrow will be 0. So 0 minus 1 will be having 0, right? 0 minus 1 is 0, will be having 1, and 1 minus 0 is 1, will borrow is 0. So 1 minus 1 is 0, the carry will be 0. This is binary subtraction. So we will discuss multiplication, division, binary multiplication and division and its properties in the next few minutes. Let's clean this board. Let's discuss about the numbers first. So the numbers, in case of decimal number system, the numbers can be 2 types. that is the positive numbers and the negative numbers. We'll be having two types of numbers. So we'll be having two different types of numbers in any number system, the positive numbers and the negative numbers. So we will know that the positive value will be represented with the positive symbol and the negative value will be represented with the negative symbol. So from now onwards, we mostly focus on the binary number system. So in the binary number system case, to differentiate, because in the binary number system we'll be having only two different distinctive digits, that is nothing but zeros and one. To differentiate whether the given number is a positive number or negative number, have to have some idea, have to distinguish, I should have some value to distinguish whether the given number is by positive number and the negative number. So in this case we'll be having, let us assume, so collection of 8 bits is equal to 1 byte. Let's take 1 byte. A collection of 4 bits is nothing but, it will call it as a nibble. So I will take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I am representing this as a B0, B1, B2. I am assuming that is a bit B3, B4, B5, B6, B7. From 0 to 7 it is called 8. So this box is called as a MSB. In case of digital binary number system, this starting box is called as a LSB. With MSB is nothing but most significant. B stands for bit. It is for least significant. Comes under, it called as a least significant bit. So differentiate whether the given number is positive number or negative number, will also called as a unsigned, positive number as an unsigned number in case of binary numbers, and negative number will call as a signed number, signed representation of a number. So if the value, if MSB is equals to 1, if MSB value is equals to 1 and if MSB value is equal to 0, so if the MSB value is 0, we will represent it, we assume it as a negative number. It is nothing but a signed number. So the MSB will give a information whether it is a positive number or a negative number, whether it is a signed number or unsigned number. If the value of the MSB is 0, we will call it as a positive number. Positive, that is unsigned number. Unsigned number. But we cannot, this is the difference. By this MSB, we can differentiate whether the given number is signed number or unsigned number. Here comes another problem. So to store in a memory, I can easily store the unsigned numbers in a memory, but to differentiate whether it is a signed number or unsigned number, I will be having MSB number. So to do some mathematical operations by using negative and positive number, we have introduced another concept called complements, where the complement is nothing but the negative representation of a positive number. So when we know that the positive value of the 6, the positive, so I have represented the positive, so because of it I am representing with the 0, so I know that the value will be 0, 1, 0. So when I want to represent whether it is as a negative number, so I have to keep 4 ones, 0, 1, 1, 0. So these ones will be used to distinguish whether the given number is positive number or negative number. So I have used 4 digits. This is one of the properties of the complements of 1's complement, 2's complement. We will be going to discuss in a few minutes. The concept is called as a sign extension. We will also discuss again also, this is a sign extension property of 1's complement and 2's complement. So we will discuss complements now.